President John Mahama cautions heads of schools not to add unapproved items to boarding fees. Fire destroys property worth millions of cedis at Suame Light Industrial Area in Kumasi. And grenade attack kills 4, including a boy in Burundi. Hello, good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. This is the news coming to you live on your all news channel, GBC24 and GTV. My name is Akpene Avo Ajaja. We start off from the Volta region, and the President John Mahama has repeated warning to heads of schools to desist from collecting unapproved items charged as fees. He warns of serious consequences for those found to be culpable. Speaking at the Silver Jubilee of Akachi Senior High Technical School in the Volta region, the President outlined progressive free education starting with day schools. He said items to be expunged from the fees sheet charged on the boarding students runs into double digits. Napoleon Atokito reports.
The President's attendance of the Silver Jubilee celebrations of Akachi Senior High Technical School highlights his interest in technical education. The Akachi School was established in the time of ex-President Rawlings as part of a scheme to properly focus on technical training. Taking over from where others ended, President John Mahama is moving further, campaigning for a complete shift in career goals or a training that suits the changing face of the Ghanaian economy. With a booming construction industry side by side with oil and gas and power as either a bonanza or a challenge, President Mahama is urging educational institutions to tailor their curricula to match the demands of the new economy. Choosing Akachi Senior High Technical School for his campaign was symbolic in the sense that his administration continues to retool rural schools for a paradigm shift. The President said, among other things, that the challenges fraught with the computerized school selection and placement system will be addressed.
The majority of graduates that we're churning out of our schools are doing marketing, are doing humanities-based courses. I don't say they are not important. They are important because we need teachers, we need administrators, we need all that. But if you are producing too many of them, then there's a problem because you come out of school and you can't find work immediately. And yet if we produce more technicians, technically competent people, middle-level engineers, they would find place in the world of work.
Among the dignitaries at the event were the Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Do Ajaho, Educational Minister, Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman, and the new Minister for Transport, Mr. Fifi Fiavi Kwete. Akachi Senior High Technical School have a student population of 2,000. Government has directed that a GET fund be applied for the construction of staff bungalows and additional classroom blocks to improve conditions of studying there. Napoleon Atukito reporting.
To the Ashanti region now, and a fire outbreak at Suame Light Industrial Area in Kumasi has destroyed property worth millions of Ghana cedis. 9 mechanical workshops were caught in the fire, which also destroyed 8 vehicles, 5 containers containing car parts and other goods. Firefighters from the Brima National Fire Service Station took about 3 hours to control the fire. The Church of Brotherhood, located right at the premises, was spared due to the timely intervention of the fire service personnel. Meanwhile, the Suame police station has invited a young boy believed to have started the fire to help in investigations. It was evident during a visit to the scene that the magnitude of the fire made it difficult for shop owners to salvage anything, not even some of the repaired vehicles that were ready to be taken away by their owners. One of the workshop owners, Mr. Daniel Mensah, said the workers were not around when the fire started at dawn. He said the workshop is manned by a watchman who disclosed that the fire started soon after a young boy had come and dumped rubbish around the workshop. The watchman warned the boy against that act and drove him away from the place. It is believed the young boy who lives close by came some time later and set fire to the rubbish. Mr. Mensah, on behalf of his colleagues, appealed to the government to assist them with financial support to be able to restart their workshops. time round in the national capital here in Accra, the vigilance and timely intervention of the staff, security personnel and electricity plant attendants at the College of Physicians and Surgeons premises at Region Accra helped in saving the building from being destroyed by fire. The incident happened when the management and staff of the National Investment Bank, NIB, gathered there for the bank's annual Thanksgiving service. A standby generator that had been providing power to the building for about 2 hours suddenly started emitting smoke, thus prompting the staff of the NIB to be evacuated in order to put the fire out. Fortunately, the fire was brought under control with the aid of fire extinguishers before personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service arrived. It's still the news live on your all news channels, GBC24. In some more stories, local government minister Alhaji Collins Dauda has hinted of a possible legislation to ensure that those who refuse to participate in the National Sanitation Day exercise are punished. Alhaji Collins Dauda disclosed this when he joined the people of Ejura in the Ejura Secretary Dumasi municipality in the Ashanti region to rid the community of insanitary conditions.
The exercise took off at 7 in the morning, but the turnout was very low. Some joined later when they saw the minister. Various groups such as the Council of Churches, National Service Personnel, Zoom Lion Ghana, Dressmakers Association also took part in cleaning the filth that has engulfed the Secretary Dumasi township. The choked gutters were desilted to ensure that mosquitoes are not given the chance to disturb the health of the people in the town. The local government minister, Alhaji Collins Dauda, said the Sanitation Day exercise should not be driven by government but rather the people on the ground. He hinted on a possible legislation to make the exercise mandatory.
We'll have to get a law in place to deal with such characters who want to maybe forced by law to clean the environment.
He also advised that the various assemblies in the country should try to use part of the assembly resources to embark on cleanup exercises in the locality. The next National Sanitation Day exercise comes off on the 5th of March 2016.
The Public Relations Officer of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, Mr. Godwin Okumanyami, says henceforth residents who refused to participate in the National Sanitation Day will be prosecuted. According to him, adequate public awareness has been created by the local authority and should be supported by all.
The objective of the National Sanitation Day is to motivate people to continually ensure proper environmental and personal cleanliness within their working and residences to prevent avoidable diseases. This month's edition of the exercise, the 16th in the series, was witnessed throughout the city. The concentration of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly was at the frontage of the Central Market. Personnel of the 4th Infantry Battalion and prison service joined some officials of the KMA and Waste Management Company Zoom Lion to desilt gutters to pave way for the free flow of stagnant waters that had been emitting pungent smells. In view of the exercise, no movement of commercial vehicles were allowed in the area that the cleaning was taking place. Similarly, all shops remained closed for business until the exercise ended. However, the turnout at this month's Sanitation Day in Kumasi was below expectation. The Public Relations Officer of KMA, Mr. Godwin Okunanyami, said even though the National Sanitation Day has registered some successes in the metropolis, the time has come for recalcitrant residents to be prosecuted by the Assembly at the Sanitation Court.
To the Eastern region now, and a new maternity ward has been inaugurated at the Salvation Army Health Center in Begro at a cost of 320,000 cedis. The move goes to complement efforts at stemming maternal and infant mortality in the area. Inaugurating the facility, the Territorial Commander of the Salvation Army, Colonel Joseph Lukau appealed to the National Health Insurance Authority to pay claims promptly to prevent healthcare delivery from grinding to a halt.
Established some 62 years ago, the Salvation Army Health Center at Begro in the Fantiakwa district of the Eastern Region is one of 9 health facilities run by the church countrywide. Through its medical, social and community services department, the Salvation Army runs 5 vocational training centers so as to meet both health and economic needs of the communities. After operating for 6 decades, the maternity block could not meet the increasing number of patients, partly due to the free Medicare pregnant women enjoyed on the National Health Insurance Scheme. The Begro Health Center, through its mother church, reconstructed the maternal block at 320,000 cedis within a period of 18 months. With a staff strength of 50, the hospital renders services in general medical care, maternal and child health services, as well as laboratory investigations. But the health center has faced challenges, with delayed claims payment by the NHIA being a major one.
This project and helping the midwives, the nurses and the staff that work here to be developed more so that when the clients come, they will receive the best possible primary health care and that maternal health will improve, maternal mortality will go down and infant mortality will also go down.
Inaugurating the maternity block, the Ghana Territory Commander of the Salvation Army, Colonel Joseph Lukau, reaffirmed a church-state partnership in delivering timely, affordable and accessible primary health care to Ghanaians.
To the government to continue to work on it, to help us by ensuring timely release of funds for the payment, as it was said previously, because it will help us meet the operational cost, which includes payment of staff allowance, utility bills, purchase of drugs and other consumables.
Ms. Hannah Dakwa is the first to have been delivered of a baby in the facility at Begro. She shared her experience with GBC24. The Salvation Army also inaugurated a vocational training center capable of training 20 young girls in sewing at a given time.
The chairman of the Convention People's Party CPP, Dr. Edmond Dele, says the party has taken steps in forming a united front with other political parties which share their same ideology with the CPP to win the 2016 elections. Dr. Dele gave the hint at a Thanksgiving service held in honor of the party's flag bearer, Mr. Ivor Greenstreet, at the Legon Anglican Church in Accra.
Accompanied by leaders and some members of the CPP, the flag bearer of the party, Mr. Ivor Greenstreet, was applauded by the congregation of the Legon Anglican Church for his overwhelming victory. The former Archbishop of the Anglican Accra Diocese, Most Reverend Dr. Justice Ofe Akofi, prayed for Mr. Greenstreet and members of the CPP in their upcoming general elections. Mr. Ivor Greenstreet, however, debunked media speculations that the CPP is battling with internal conflicts after his victory, since none of the candidates who contested him were spotted at the Thanksgiving service.
One of them has traveled, and I think the others are in different places within Ghana. But they were all, aware that we were having this program, and I've spoken to them, and I think, we are ready to all work together in the supreme interest of the party. I think next week we'll be launching our campaign, and we'll be letting you know the details at the right time.
The chairman of the party, Dr. Edmond Dele, said the party is in talks with other political parties to form a coalition in the 2016 elections.
We want to unite with parties who share the same values as we do as a Convention People's Party. And of course, those parties who share are those of increments extraction, like the PNC, like CPP who were members of the CPP, and for reasons that we don't need to talk about now, they went out.
Dr. Dele called on the media to ensure that all the political parties are given platforms to sell their messages to the electorates.
The moderator of the General Assembly of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana, Right Reverend Dr. Seth Senyo Agidi, says the church has been praying and will continue to do, such as the National Investment Bank NIB. The man of God said this at a Thanksgiving service held by the National Investment Bank. Every year, the bank holds a special service in appreciation of what they believe God has done for them. This year's program was on the theme, The Favor of God.
Staff of the National Investment Bank and their families, clients of the bank, bankers and retired staff of the bank were among those who came together to thank God for his favor throughout 2014. A gospel musical group, Joyful Way Incorporated, kick-started the event with a song ministration. The program featured 2 readings taken from Romans chapter 9, verse 9 to 16, and Matthew chapter 5, verse 1 to 12. The moderator of the General Assembly of the EP Church of Ghana, Right Reverend Dr. Seth Senyo Agidi, said the purpose of the Thanksgiving service is to show appreciation to God for his favor on the bank. He advised Christians to learn to share.
God has favored us, not because we are lovable, but loves and blesses us, so that we can become lovable and a blessing to others.
In a brief interview, the managing director of the National Investment Bank, Mr. Ernest Mauli Agbeshi, said it is necessary to thank God all the time. He disclosed that the bank made a lot of profit after tax in the period between 2013 and 2014.
This year, God willing, we will make an operational profit of about, after tax, of 122 million. So I think we should be grateful to God.
The NIB choir also did a voice offering to God.
This is the news live on your news channel, GBC24 and GTV. We'll be right back with some more stories. Don't go away. Welcome back to the news. In the international segment, 4 people have been killed in Burundi in a grenade attack on a bar in the capital, Bujumbura. Among the victims was a child selling boiled eggs. 10 other people were injured in Saturday's attack. Unknown attackers also threw grenades at an army patrol and a police station in Bujumbura, hurting several people. Since April, 400 people have died in clashes triggered by President Pierre Nkurunziza's bid for a 3rd term. He won a disputed election in July. The African Union is trying to persuade the president to agree to the deployment of AU peacekeepers. He is opposed to the plan, saying this would amount to an invasion. Militants have freed an Australian woman kidnapped with her husband last month in Burkina Faso, releasing her in neighboring Niger. Jocelyn Elliott and her husband Ken, who are in their 80s, were snatched from Djibo near the border with Mali. The couple have provided medical services in the town since the 1970s. Al-Qaeda-linked militants said the kidnapping was an attempt to secure the release of imprisoned fighters. The group Al-Qaeda in the Muslim Maghreb, Aqim, said in an audio recording that it will release Mrs. Elliott so as not to make women involved in the war. Efforts to free her husband were continuing. The couple were kidnapped on the same day as a deadly attack on a hotel in the Burkina Faso capital, Ouagadougou, which was also claimed by the militant group. We'll be back shortly with sports. Don't go away. In sports, FA Cup winners Midiama this afternoon beat Premier League champions Ash Gold by a 1-0 to lift the Super Cup trophy. the match was ushering in the 2015-2016 football season. The two clubs used the match as part of preparations for their CAF inter-club competition matches, which will begin this month. Ashanti Gold will host Algerian side Mo Bijay in their Championship League match on Sunday, 14th of February, while Midiama will begin their Confederation Cup campaign against either Ittihad of Libya or AS Sonidep of Niger. In the arts segment, No Man's Land is a movie that tells a story about a war situation and features musician Wiala. Producer of the movie, Salma Monin, explained why they decided to cast Wiala for the movie.
You said earlier it's about war and peacemaking. We gave that title to the movie because of the storyline. When there is war, it becomes a no man's land. Nobody would like to be in such a land. About 2 African communities that started fighting due to politics. They fought and killed others and all that. There was bitterness on the land. There is love in between, there is hatred, there is war, there is peacemaking, somebody who is willing to give his life out for peace.
When Salma called you up, what was going through your mind? Would I be able to do that? Or how do you see the movie? When
I was really like, are you sure you want me in your movie? Because you have all the Majid, the Ajay, the Jackies, and the Nadia Warriors and all that. The movie might have this role that will be like gangster yo, and I'll get to play my evil parts, and, you know. So I'm like, yeah, I love this role. For me, I love action. So when I read the script, I was like, yes,
this is you.
I think this is so me.
Why did you choose to feature Noella in your movie?
She was the perfect character for the character I had in it. Nobody in Ghana would have played that character well like she did. My director was going crazy about her because it was my first time meeting crew members to discuss business, for them to charge me, for them to tell me what to do and how to pay them. The movie is going to be premiered at the Silverbird Cinemas, on the 13th of February.
And thank you so much for joining us for the news. We'll be back at 10:30 with News Tonight. But coming up shortly is Talking Point, and we are discussing Ghana's tax regime. Do stay.